What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bullshot Darts. So we got Johnny Clayton continuing his domination of 2021 with another title win. So I want to touch on that for a second. And also we got the Canadian portion of the CDC tour wrapping up. So we got, two winners from that weekend and also the top 8 players for the Continental Cup. And we have our number 1 seed who wins that World Championship spot. So just want to talk about those things. But first, guys, it is Bullshot's mission to grow the sport of darts. So if you are new, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop this video a thumbs up, and also go check out bullshotdarts.com. I have my new samples coming in just 2 days. I cannot wait for them to get here. And assuming all goes well, I should have the Bullshot store up and running by the end of the year. And the Bullshot logo is the coolest logo in darts, so it makes it the perfect way to show your love and passion for the greatest sport in the world. So keep your eyes out for that. So Johnny Clayton has just been having an unbelievable year, and I'm curious to see how it's going to wrap up with the World Championship coming up here soon. But first, real quick, I just want to say that the nickname The Ferret is one of the best and perfect nicknames for any athlete or darts player that I have ever seen. I absolutely love that nickname, and every time I watch him play, I just always think about his nickname and how perfect it is for him. So I absolutely love that about him, and that's one of the reasons I'm a fan of him. I am a fan of darts, but I'm also a fan of a player's personalities and their styles. And there's something about watching Johnny Clayton throw darts that's very satisfying. So he has won his 4th TV title of the year. Just an absolute dominating year for him. And I think it's hard to argue against the statement that he is the hottest player in darts right now. And it's going to be very interesting to see him going into the World Championship. And it's crazy because you got the number 1 player, Gerwen, and now you have the hottest dart players of Clayton. And Clayton's been getting the best of Price lately. So if they end up meeting up in the World Championship, I'm very curious to see how that's going to go. Is the world champion Gerwen going to show up and, defend that title? Or is Clayton going to continue getting the best of him in the biggest tournament of the year? So one thing I love about this right now, too, is that Johnny Clayton and Gerwen are from the same country, and they represent in the World Cup together. So this kind of brings me back to watching Michael Van Gerwen and Van Barneveld matches, or Adrian Lewis and Phil Taylor matches, Peter Wright and Gary Anderson. So these are the new 2 top guys right now. And, they're from the same country, just like those other guys. So I love what's happening right now in darts because Gerwen is my favorite darts player. So I think it's cool just that he's in this mix, with him and Johnny Clayton, Gerwen being number 1, and his partner is on the come up and coming for his World Championship. So what do you guys think? How do you guys think Johnny Clayton's going to do in the World Championship? What are your predictions for that? And just what's your opinion about what Johnny Clayton's been doing right now? Do you think he is the best darts player in the world right now? Or do you think he's, just having a hot streak, then it's going to fall off? Is this momentum going to carry? How long is it going to carry? I don't know. You guys tell me. What's your opinion about this? All right, let's move on to the Canada portion of the CDC. We had events 4, 5, and 6 a couple weeks ago. I know I'm a little late on talking about this, but better late than never. So we have John Norman Jr. winning event number 4, John Norman Jr. winning event number 5, and Jake Taylor winning event number 6, the final event of the tour. And I'm super excited about these wins. John Norman Jr. winning 2 events in a row is huge. One, it's just a very hard thing to do. But 2, him getting those wins is what got him that number 1 spot. So he will be representing Canada in the World Championship of Darts. Well, he'll be a representative of Canada in the World Championship of Darts. And if you do not know who John Norman Jr. is, you need to YouTube him right now. He is quite possibly the most entertaining darts player in the world. I absolutely love watching him play darts. So him getting the World Championship spot and knowing I'm going to see him on the World Championship stage just has me so excited. I cannot wait for his matches, and I hope he does really well out there. I mean, I hope all the North American players do really well, of course, but The more John Norman Jr. darts we get on TV, the better. So big congrats to him for getting those 2 victories and getting that world championship spot. And now we have Jake Taylor winning his first CDC event. And I think that's super huge for him. I've talked about Jacob Taylor a lot on my YouTube because he made a name for himself during quarantine. He didn't travel much beforehand, but once we started the webcam darts and stuff, you know, he could play anyone in the world. And he did that, and he was just beating everybody. Multiple averages up in the hundreds, which isn't something that we see too often here. I mean, it's becoming more common, but it's still, if an American player throws over 100, it's like or a North American player, still a pretty big deal and really awesome. And he does it a lot, and he just has the talent to be a world champion. So I really hope, or I really pull for him in a lot of tournaments that he plays. Because yeah, he's just a phenomenal North American darts player and a super nice guy from what I've seen. So really excited for him, and him getting that was enough to get him into the Continental Cup. He shot really well in the CDC for the whole tour, but he just wasn't able to reach win that finals game. So now that he did, I think we might see a new Jake Taylor moving forward, because now he has this extra confidence of having a CDC event under his belt. So I'm really curious to see what else he does. And I'm just getting out my phone real quick because I don't have the Continental Cup guys memorized. So for the Canadian portion, we got the top 8 Canadians. They will be playing against the top 8 Americans. So from Canada, we have John Norman Jr. in the 1 seed, and then, you know, just working our way down. So we got John Norman Jr., Jacob Taylor, Matt Campbell, David Cameron, Dave Richardson, Kylie Edmonds, Jeff Smith, and Jim Long. And that is a very stacked group of dart players. And I'm really excited to see what all these guys do in the Continental Cup. The Continental Cup is going to be awesome this year because it's kind of like a Canada versus USA, because we weren't able to have a merged tour. So Canada had their own tour and the USA had their own tour. And when they seed, it's going to be, you know, the American player versus the Canada player for the whole first round. So I think that's really cool. But yeah, so what do we got here? We got John Norman. Like I said, I already talked about him a little bit. That'll be interesting to see him throw. Who are some other guys I'm just really excited about? Jacob Taylor, like I said, I'm really curious to see what he does. And hopefully we get Jake Taylor versus Jules Van Dongen in this tournament, because those are like the 2 biggest sensations that come out of webcam darts. Jacob Taylor was dominating everyone, and then Jules Van Dongen came around and he started beating Jacob Taylor. So it's like these 2 guys were the top guys for webcam darts. So it'd be really cool to see them play in person in the Continental Cup. That would be awesome. David Cameron's another player I'm really looking forward to, because I just think he's a great player and he's pretty low key. Like they talked about that. He won event number 1 in Canada, the CDC event number 1. And in the interview, like Peter Cetera even said, like, you're a pretty low-key guy. And that can't be more far from the truth. Like when you talk about the best dart players in North America, a lot of people might not say David Cameron, but he's definitely one of the best. He's just a low-key guy. So it'll be interesting to see how he throws. I'll be pulling for him too. I mean, I'm pretty much pulling for all these guys. You know, whoever wins, I'll be excited for, but just excited to see how he throws. Who else was on that list? Kylie Edmonds, and of course, you know, Jeff Smith will be interesting because he's the PDC Tour card holder. Jim Long, you know, has been on the World Cup stage. Canada has a lot of experience coming into this Continental Cup, so it'll just be very interesting to see. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. We'll make this the last throw. All right, guys. So, I lost losing my train of thought here. Johnny Clayton, absolute dominant 2021. How do you think his 2021 is going to wrap up in the World Championship? And also, we got the Canadian portion wrapping up for the CDC. What do you guys feel about those top 8 players? What do you think is going to happen in the Continental Cup? Click one of the videos that popped up over here. I will see you on the next one, and shoot well.